be celebrating the 5th year of our partnership with HAS Business School, which is the global founding partners of GSVC. This year the GSVC has combined so many different events. We've had the GSVC Asia finals, of course. Yesterday we had the divisional round. Today we had the final round. We had a poster presentation by all the participating teams. We've had an artisan mela. Today we had an elevator pitch. And of course we've had the social responsibility conclave today.
Cost recovery clearly depends on where you are and how long you have been. But it looks like even in tribal areas, if you keep it long enough, you'll be able to get the cost recovery. We don't know. These are numbers today. It is still not sustainable in tribal areas, but you need to do something about that, or maybe worry about it as a function of time to see.
Improving their life itself. Very often, when you begin with social innovation, my experience is that we come with passion, but we don't have the required experience. We have the desire, we have an aspiration, but we have not done those things before. And how do we bridge that gap is a major challenge for most of us. When you bring in people who know the domain, who have the expertise, who really have the passion, what they bring together is something interesting. They bring more questions than you have. You have a technological perspective, you have a process perspective, but they have the outcome perspective. To marry that and to bring it all together to find something
but whenever we are trying to look at technology or innovation for impact, I think even before we start thinking about it, there are a couple of questions that we must ask ourselves. One is that, what are the prerequisites if you want a social enterprise which is driven by innovation or technology? There have to be certain prerequisites of this innovation, and what we normally refer to as triple bottom line. We must say that the innovation must address economic concerns, it must address social concerns, and it must address environmental concerns. So if your innovation is something not really catering to the masses and not going to create these kind of benefits for the people, then I would hesitate to go in that line of that path of innovation.
About some of the trends and context that we need to understand when we're talking about innovations and innovation-based social enterprises. Trend 1, we're talking about 1 billion lives in India, 700 million scattered in 600,000 villages across. So any innovation, any social enterprise needs to appreciate this reality that we are talking about 600,000 diverse villages. The second reality that we need to understand is large portion of it farming dependent. But interesting statistics tell us that over the last couple of years, the agricultural GDP has fallen significantly. And what has really grown up is things like animal husbandry, poultry, horticulture, and all those areas. So it's important to build enterprises in the agriculture space, but it's equally important to look at other spaces where one needs to innovate and build enterprises out of.
Simple idea. A differential in the axle of an old car which they were using for a cart, donkey cart, was carrying about 30 kg of weight, no functionality. Our innovators standing there who went from Gujarat to South Africa, removed it, designed a new donkey cart, saved one donkey. That's an additional income now. You can do in South Africa, somebody designed a beautiful strappable shoes. So the kind of dress that women wear, your shoes upper can be of the same design, same color. Imelda Marcos would not have had to buy 5,000 shoes if she had this technology, True, she would have saved that money and used it for something else. So this is an innovation from South Africa. Now we don't think of South Africa as a place of this kind of innovation, not that we cannot link the small grassroots innovation in a village or in several villages with the big markets and large corporations. We can do that. We can do that. This is another technology which was marketed in Andhra Pradesh. Look at the photograph. The endorsement is not by Amitabh Bachchan. The endorsement on the package is by Popat Bhai, who designed this innovation. Show me another product where name of the photograph of the inventor is on the package. This is a marketing innovation. Why shouldn't the innovator endorse the product? I have done it in my village. You too can in Andhra Pradesh. Like that in different parts of the country we have volunteers who helped. None of the volunteers paid for their service, for their time. For 20 years, volunteers have made this dream possible to uncover 140,000 innovations and traditional knowledge practices from 540 districts of India. 10 years ago, we had only 10,000. Today, we have 140,000. This much is the tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The number, actual number will be much more. Knowledge matters. Innovations transform and incentives inspire, but not just monetary incentives, also non-monetary incentives. Not just individual incentives, but also collective incentives. Thank you.
This will go to fund social entrepreneurs because their objectives are different. Government funding is there. How do we work on this pool? I mean, I don't think it is the funding is the only issue. The people probably are not stepping forward. People who can make a difference are not stepping forward.
It's a good question. I completely agree. You're right that funding is not the main issue, but it is the issue. For last 10 years, the budget of NIF has remained frozen at 1.6 crore, which is about $400,000. In real terms, it has gone down by 75%. So it is only 25% worth of what it was in 2000. Database has gone up from 10,000 to 140,000. Can you imagine now the plight that we are in? So there is a funding issue. There is a real funding issue. But that apart, I think the fact that large number of ideas are at the proof of concept stage. They need to become prototype to product. The journey is long. We invest in very few projects, 50, 60. We should be spending in 2,000 to 3,000 a year minimum. Then 200 will become marketable, 20 will succeed. That is the funnel we should have. We haven't reached there as yet.